Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Anna Fotyga, Polish member of the European Parliament, and together with my dear friend Radza Juknevičienė, MEP of Lithuania, we are honored and privileged to host Madame Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya, leader of the Belarusian opposition, this afternoon in the European Parliament, just in the eve of important conference, the Kalinowski Forum, that we start tomorrow morning. We gathered this afternoon to discuss situation in Belarus in the context of war of aggression, Russian war of aggression against Ukraine. Madam Tsikhanouskaya, very warm welcome to the European Parliament. We are willing to listen to your assessment of current situation in Belarus. There is decisive moment for countries of our region, application of Ukraine, Moldova and Georgia for membership of the EU, European Council gathering. There are also your initiatives regarding this situation, but please give us the broader picture as well.
First of all, thank you for invitation. It's an honor for me to be here in European Parliament again. I know that we have a lot of friends here, and I'm here to remind how Belarus is important in this geopolitical crisis. And now when all the focus on Ukraine, and we fully support and understand this, we have to remind Europeans that in Belarus situation is still awful. Repressions in our country are continuing, and but despite of this repression, people continue to fight against dictatorial regime. And also when the war in Ukraine started, Belarusian people realized how it's important to support Ukraine, because the fate of Ukraine and fate of Belarus are, and actually fate of Europe, are interconnected. Without free Ukraine, there will be no free Belarus, and vice versa. Without free Belarus, there will be constant threat to Ukraine and to our neighbors as well. So Belarus is part of this geopolitical crisis, and this crisis has to be solved in complex. So Belarusian people understand the importance of the victory of the Ukraine, because the victory of Ukraine will give Belarusian people one more opportunity to uprise. Our fight hasn't ended for a minute. For this almost 2 years, we created network of underground organizations in Belarus and in exile, and we will be more prepared when this time comes. And Lukashenko knows this. Lukashenko knows that people are not giving up. So as for Ukraine, look, we are fully supporting candidacy of Ukraine in European Union because they deserve it, and they fight for this right for self-determination. But also I have to mention that Belarus also shouldn't be forgotten in this pro-European perspective, because Belarusian people realize themselves as European people. And we don't have to forget that Belarus is not Russia. And we are asking for our political partners that in final conclusion of this document about candidacy, Belarus also should be mentioned. It should be mentioned in the frame of that Belarus also has right to have European perspectives after democratic changes in our country, to show that Belarus is an important part of this situation.
Yes, of course. Radza, would you like also to contribute to this?
Thank you, first of all, Anna, for your really big efforts to organize conference, Kalinowksi Conference Conference. Kostas Kalinauskas, as we say in Lithuania, Kastusis Kalinowski, as say our brothers and sisters in Belarus, is like a symbol, I would say, of
Hero of three nations.
Hero of three our nations.
Yeah.
And that's I am listening to you and thinking about these people. They were fighting many years ago for the same values, against the same dictatorships, for their own statehood. So we are today in the same, situation, especially Sviatlana, especially people in Belarus, Polish, Lithuanian people are maybe more lucky today because we were able to use this opportunity when, as I say, first round of Soviet Union collapse happened. It collapsed, but not exactly. And today, what I see in more broader sense, it is like second round of collapse of Soviet Union or empire with another name. I am optimistic, quite optimistic, and when Putin launched this large-scale and provoked war 24th of February, my first idea was that it is the beginning of the end. Of course, somebody will say that maybe I am too optimistic or maybe too idealistic. But on the other hand, when I remember some 1985, while being a medical doctor in small Lithuanian city, I didn't expect that I will speak with you today. Not in the and I will be a representative of free, independent statehood. And it happened. It happened very soon. So we don't know. And I think maybe Putin himself is some kind of catalysator. He will catalyze, and he already is doing this for all countries around. Unfortunately, it is on huge expense of the blood in Ukraine, on these sufferings of the people. But as Kastusis Kalinowski or Kostas Kalinowski's generation, all of them died, all of them were killed. By the way, if not everyone knows, their remains were found a few years ago in Vilnius, and in the same brutal way they were killed, as people now...
Hanged.
Yes, hanged, and their remains were even destroyed. Not to find where nobody, to commemorate those heroes. But history is coming with the, with the truth. So this is why I believe in truth. I think that it's the end of this regime. It will, I don't know when it will happen, but for sure in my lifetime, we will see people from Belarus represented here in European Parliament. We will see Ukrainians, people from Moldova. I am back from Moldova, by the way, last week, where also brave women are fighting, especially women there on the top.
Two women, actually.
Yes, on the top of the
state,
government and presidency.
Yeah.
And people are very active. Georgians, unfortunately, they are somehow today under the very close to Kremlin government, and they are now not lost the leadership in trio countries. But yes, I think, I'm sure that completion of European continent is our destiny to build up.
Wow. There is excellent example for a Kalinowski Forum that we decided this year also to bring to Brussels, because it is 4th edition of the Kalinowski Forum. There are representatives of whole region. There is also well-known Georgian expert and former politician and There are, of course, many Belarusian, because we were able to bring refugees from fleeing from atrocities of Lukashenko's regime here to Brussels to show not only them institutions, but to show to our Western colleagues how dedicated they are, how mature, how patriotic, and how very much like all of us. They have their dreams. They would like to live peaceful life, and instead they have families in prisons and atrocities of governments, threats against neighboring countries by Lukashenko himself. Belarusians also fight in Ukraine, many of them under Kalinowski's banners. So it is also very important, this feeling of solidarity. Young Belarusian people, all Belarusian people, deserve their European future. What is your reflection on this?
We deserve the future of free people. And so as Europe is unity of free countries, we also want to be to share the values you have, the rights you have, and this is what we are fighting for. And actually, this determination among majority of Belarusians appeared when our young generation started to travel and to see what freedom is, because when you live in the country, when you can't experience this, where you can find such thoughts in your head that I want to be free person. And with development of technologies of visa issue, and Belarusian people started to ask questions to themselves. Do I want to live in pro-Soviet country, pro-Lukashenko country, or I want my country to be developed and prosperous as European countries? So, of course, we understand the role of Europeans of free values in our fight. I have to say that democracy, we always repeat democracy, democratic changes, but I have to admit that not everyone, even in Belarus, understands what democracy is. We still have a lot of people, especially of like older generation, who have never traveled, who don't know democracy is some strange word for them. So we have to study to live under democracy. And now we are in process of education, how it is. And I'm really grateful that we have opportunity to show Belarusian people like inside information from European Parliament, from Parliament and government of different countries, and to show how it should work, that people have to participate in policy of their country. It shouldn't be one ruler who orders them what to do or not what to do. It develops the feeling of responsibility of people. So I think that our country, our nation is ready to live under democracy, to share the same values. So we are really, grateful for this opportunity that we have possibility to be part of European family now already.
This evening we want to lay wreath together with ambassadors of Lithuania and Poland under a table of a plate of Joachim Lelevel, who used to be once more well known to our respective societies, an outstanding historian, but also fighter for freedom during uprisings in the November uprising of 19th century. And actually he is presumed to be the author of a slogan for freedom, yours and ours, that is so much on banners of all of us. And I think that it is the good conclusion to our deliberations that our aim is to help Ukraine win this war, because it is of utmost importance. Actually, security and life of our citizens in all neighboring countries, but probably also beyond, of whole Europe, depends on the result of this war. And surely the positive, meaning victory of Ukraine, opens excellent perspectives for Belarus and Belarusian society to finally achieve their independence and freedom. Raza, would you like to conclude?
Yes, I think it would be nice in our own languages to share the same expression of Professor Lelevel. I will say just in Lithuanian. Už jūsų ir mūsų laisvę.
Za wolność waszą i naszą.
За вашу и нашу свободу.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much indeed. We are honored to host Madame Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya during our discussion. I am Anna Fotyga on behalf of the ECR, co-host of Kalinowski Forum here in European Parliament, and Raza Juknevičienė, Lithuanian MEP, host of one of the most important panels during this conference as well. Thank you.
Thank you.